Africa. These nations sported a rich array of ingredients and cooking methods that would form the bedrock of what we now understand as soul food. Staples like yams, okra, black-eyed peas, and rice sat at the heart of many African diets. One-pot meals, stewing in palm oil, along with a variety of spices, were common techniques of cooking. When millions of Africans were forcibly brought to America during the Atlantic slave trade, they took more than just their bodies with them. They had their cultural knowledge, including culinary expertise. Although slavery was despicable, these people found a way to preserve their food traditions and adapt them to their new environment and the limited resources they encountered in America. At the same time, this ensured the preservation of the culinary heritage from the practice. Life on plantations was marked by strict limitations in food. Plantation owners barely provided minimum rations to the slaves, which typically consisted of cornmeal, salted fish, and minute portions of vegetables. Frederick Douglass gave the following account in his autobiography regarding the meager provisions offered for slaves to eat: 8 pounds of pork, or its equivalent in fish, and 1 bushel of cornmeal per month. This ration barely kept adults alive and working. These meager rations were supplemented by whatever the enslaved could scrounge. They gathered wild plants and hunted small game and fished when they could. A few were even permitted to have small garden plots where they grew vegetables. These gardens were an oasis of sustenance, but also a source of pride, a way for the enslaved to exert a modicum of control over what they ate. Perhaps the biggest adaptation was using parts of animals that were simply thrown away by slave owners. Intestines became chitterlings or chitlins. Pig feet, ears, and tails became tasty dishes. Even dandelion greens and pokeweed, considered weeds by owners, were added to the diet. This resourcefulness paved the way for many soul food staples. Preparing chitterlings
talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood view, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas is representing. He's sitting on a Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter.
2, 3, 4, 5. We live. Welcome to Hoodviewpolitics, where we go into a deep, detailed dive into politics from a hood point of view. I'm Rabbit Jones.
I'm Tony, the #1 soul brother. Welcome to the Hoodview Politics FAFO Friday live stream.
It's one of those Fridays.
So you're gonna fuck around and find out.
If you're new here, you don't know what to expect. But if you've been here before, you know what's going on here. We chase maggots and coons. Maggots and coons. Let's not forget about those Puerto Ricans and those white ladies too. We after you. You know what I'm saying, dog? Welcome to anybody that's fresh and new to this podcast. We appreciate you a whole lot. All our hoodies, you know we appreciate you for subbing and liking, following us, listening to us, disagreeing with us, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We just appreciate y'all a whole lot to get us to this point. Almost 400 subs. We're trying to get to 500 before our anniversary. If y'all can help us with that, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all a whole lot, you know? What's been going on, player?
Shit. Just laying back, looking at all this old stupid shit that's going on every other day. It's some dumb shit. And they're dumb about a fucking hour. But I'm back to talk about it. Bro.
It is a lot going on, bro. A ton. So, man, there's a lot to get into. So we're gonna touch on a lot tonight. KKK. We got motherfucking Medicaid, Medicare. We got black maggots running around talking about some. He's not taking it. No. Don't try to massage this one. It's in the budget. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's a lot going on, but man, we got to dive into the hot button issue for sure. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen a press conference earlier with the president of the United States and the president of, is it Ukraine?
Yep.
The president of Ukraine. Now, it's first of all, when Biden was president, Republicans before would help fund the war in Ukraine. Trump said something somewhere along the line in the motherfucking campaign, which made them switch up. But everybody got to stop and realize one thing: this war is because of one country went into another one. Am I wrong?
You're right.
And that's the crust of what happened. That country is just defending themselves. And if that country is part of NATO, which is an alliance of countries together, forming together to work together in humanitarian reasons and such shit like that, you can't stand back as part of a group with that country or countries around it and watch another country go inside. Cool. Some people be like, well, ain't no need for us sending no motherfucking money over there. We don't give a fuck about them. Cool. We get that. We get that. I get that thought process. But how would you like it if motherfuckers try to come in here? Would that feel the same? Like those people in those countries have motherfuckers coming in their shit and just blowing it up so they can take it over. And this president is stopping it and fighting with tooth and nail as much as he can. Biden supplied armor to him. Disagree or not, that's what happened, right? And that's where we at. What you think about this the war from the beginning? Just before we're gonna tap into the craziness that happened earlier.
Well, look, war is basically this. Putin ran up in Ukraine to take it over. It wasn't easy as they thought. The United States was backing Ukraine with money and motherfucking armor and military assets or whatever you want to fucking call it. And they've been getting in Putin.
That was Biden, really, but it's never
wasn't
Murray, it was Biden.
I mean, he bragged on, he gave him the javelin tanks at first. So you can motherfucking, he can take credit for all that. All the other shit, that was Biden, dude. But they went up in there with the backing of the U.S. They've been holding their own. For big and bad as motherfucking Russia is supposed to be, and big as bad as Donald Trump and MAGA will lead you to believe that Putin and Russia is, they cannot do nothing with Ukraine unless Donald Trump basically gives him the okay to what he's going to end up probably doing is either threatening or using a nuke on them people. And Donald Trump's not going to give a fuck. So he showed you that.
So was this earlier today or was it yesterday? It was today. They had a meeting in the office with JD Vance and the whole nine was there, right? The whole Boo Boo the Food Clown cabinet. And we're going to tap in the joint in and out. And we want to just follow this joint and see what happened. We're going to talk about it.
People, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Hold on, let's stop right there real quick. All right. The first thing I don't like about this whole thing, right, is he is bringing an argument, a TV argument. To me, he interjecting with something for clickbait, something for motherfucking YouTubers and shit to work with. Like, it doesn't seem like what JD Vance talking about has anything to do with anything. To me, it's like he want to inject with something where Republicans and boo the fool ass MAGAs can follow something and put it on their YouTubes. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he gonna tell this motherfucker. First of all, motherfuckers like, bro, have you ever even been here to tell us what the fuck? The man said he signed a ceasefire with Putin. Putin ain't give a fuck about it. He said it's too Trump face. So he asked JD Vance. So if the first time he didn't give a fuck about ceasefire, you tell me what is the thing then? What is this piece you talking about? He want to hear it, right? Did you see anything wrong with that? Him doing that as the president of what the fuck is that? Ukraine?
First of all, the first thing about that clip, that video, is JD Vance. Whether you like Trump or not, and I can't stand the motherfucker, whether you like Trump or not, the majority of the people who voted him president voted him to be president. Not JD Vance, not Elon Musk. And what JD Vance did there was not only disrespectful to the president of Ukraine, it was also disrespectful to Donald Trump and disrespectful to the motherfucking office, to the Oval Office, the office.
Three disrespectful spots?
Right there. It was disrespectful all the way around.
God damn.
It is not JD Vance's place
Yeah,
right
what is
there
he doing?
to jump in there and jump on the president of another nation. It is not your place. If Donald Trump started this shit, that's one thing. JD Vance, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump allows this. Dude, if you are the president, have some respect for the office, and your vice president and this motherfucker you got to run around doing shit should have some respect for the office holder. That shit is disrespectful, and it's disrespectful to the American people.
This thing is turned to a clown show, bro. Be honest
It's
with you.
bullshit. You don't do that. And he jumped out there.
About to play the rest. But JD Vance, like you said, just cut in and said some old
Off the wall shit.
and then he sucked it. Oh, this president right here is trying to save you. Like, what do you mean? What do you think Biden was doing?
So,
like, that don't even make sense.
so Donald Trump can't speak for himself. He been speaking for himself. He can't speak for himself. Now you need JD Vance to be JD Vance feels that he needs to be a mouthpiece. That shit was plotted.
But what's saving them though? If all right, Biden was giving them armor to save their lives, to fight against them invading them. What is they talking about? Like, what I mean, that's why he got his arms crossed. Like, explain to me then. Like, what am I supposed to do again? And he gonna go in. Let's play the rest of this. It's like I didn't get that.
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have
gotta-
war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you, You
strong.
will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position.
Wait, what? Wait. What are you talking about right now, bruh? Why he cut him off when he was trying to explain the joint. And then he went into, but I don't agree with the shit going on. But once he said, you guys don't feel it because you have an ocean, now that's you doing too much. You cross something there. Like, no president will sit here in opening and have this conversation first. Just some idiotic shit. But within this conversation, he can't say we have problems all the time and you guys have an ocean that stops you. You can't. That's almost like a threat almost. What do you think about it?
I think
What's wrong with him saying about the ocean is stopping us from having problems?
I mean, which is true, because you got to come through an ocean on both sides to get to us. You got to come through two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, and you got to come through two countries. That's Mexico and Canada to get to us. Mm-hmm. So what he's saying is you ain't worrying about a motherfucker attacking you because y'all got all this water between y'all. So, you know, if a motherfucker try to come at y'all can handle that. Russia right next door to him. So they just running right over the motherfucking border and march through the country, you know, and do what the fuck they want to do.
Now, if I picture, like, if Biden or Obama was here, right? First of all, they wouldn't have had the spectrum. I gotta keep pointing that out. First of all, this wouldn't even be. You don't do this, right? First, but if this was to go down, and Biden let's say Obama was sitting there, and all of a sudden it went down like this, and he said the ocean separates us from problems. I would expect Biden or Obama to interject right there and at least say one or two things. America resolves or something and shit. We're not worried about anything on our shores, and we're here to help you and protect you against the Russian joints. They will have to say something. You can't let him say you only surviving because of the fucking water and some shit. Like, come on. Like, you can't do that, bro. But the way this responds,
you've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war,
you're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks.
You haven't been alone.
Cabinet.
You haven't been alone. We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over.
Oh. Hey, bruh. You ain't tell me it went like this, bruh.
It got worse.
How in the fuck can he? First of all, JD Vance just jumps in again. And then when Main Man tried to talk to JD Vance, motherfucker, oh, wait. Trump say, wait, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? The Main Man said, can I finish? Nah, you don't talk enough.
Okay.
Like, Like, what the fuck is just going on here, yeah?
Now back to JD Vance.
What the fuck?
Now back to JD Vance.
Oh, I can't take
Who
it.
are you? Well, first of all, let's get one thing straight.
Oh my God, bro.
No matter what people may think,
Bro.
and no matter what they may tell you, the vice president has no power. The only power that the vice president has is what the president gives them and allows them to do.
It's way too funny.
So first of all, JD Vance, you are in no fucking position to demand an apology from anybody.
Like, what?
Where the fuck do you get that from? You're not in no fucking position to ask nobody to demand an apology. What? When if you did your fucking homework, the man apologized. I mean, the man, you know, he didn't want an apology. He demanded a thank you and appreciation. That's what he wanted. You haven't thanked the American people. The man thanks the American people.
He came to Congress. We played it and thanked us for that shit. He said, I think he came twice, didn't he?
And his receipts out there were on the regular, like on a daily basis. Every time he speaks, he thanks the American people.
He did. He came to Congress and he did do that.
Yeah.
Like, where are these people? He didn't. He probably wasn't even there.
So
he was a senator.
Who the fuck are you? Anyway, you're nobody. You ain't shit. You're the vice president. You are only there. You know what your only real job is? To break ties in the Senate. That's all your fucking job is.
Could you imagine?
And to be there if something happened to the actual president.
Could you imagine if Kamala, every time Biden would say something, have a conversation, she'd jump in?
Oh, I'm gonna get
I would have loved it, now, to be honest with you. But that would have looked crazy as fuck, right? You'd been like, why does she keep jumping into this shit when he the president? Like, what is happening? Yeah.
For one, and this goes to Elon too. Because Elon will sat there and had a fucking press conference in the Oval Office like he was the fucking president, with the fucking president sitting there. So the disrespect that y'all show to the office is like mind fucking blowing.
It's so much to run on though. Like you can literally run on let's say a Democrat can run on now, making sure your parents, your elderly, seniors, live their lives in dignity. They can just run on that now because they taking it from people. That's their targets for shit. So you can easy now just run a normal Democratic joint now because they done took away everything a Democrat fought for. So therefore, Social Security, Medicaid, all that stuff, you can now fight for it and start all over and just be like seniors and talk directly to people as a family and be like, look, you need your parents to die in dignity. Mm-hmm. You had one president, well, a candidate, was telling you she was going to pay for your parent to live with you and was going to pay for a caregiver. Like, you just can't write this shit, Tony, bro.
Look, this is why I say, from my point of view, she don't have to come out and say shit. She don't have to come out and say nothing till she's ready to come out here and say shit. Because
a lot of clips going around too.
Because this shit is writing itself. She don't have to. You sit back and you look at it. You let it write. You let the script write itself, and you sit back and you plot, and you sit back and do what the people would do. What they're doing now. You go to the people. You go to the people. You ain't got to go to the people that you got. You go to the people that you ain't got and say, look, see what I'm talking about? This is what I was telling you. What happened after that shit played today? After when that shit went viral, and it went viral quick, they had videos up of her in his face at the debate, saying to his face exactly and telling the American people exactly what was to happen, and the exact thing happened a little over 30 days, almost 40 days into his administration. They've been playing them clips everywhere. And there's more clips like that on more subjects. So she don't have to say shit because they doing the work for her. So she can sit back and chill, get her mind right, and plot, and she all over the place. You look, everybody was like this. You know what? Kamala Harris said that this is the exact same thing Kamala Harris told the people. And they got it in debate form with him sitting there looking, turning her head dumb as she ran down exactly what the fuck he was going to do. And he did it.
Now, let me ask you. If, what's his name? Zelensky or some shit? If that was your president, how you feel after he came out? Do you feel like he defended his shit, or what? How you feel if you felt like if you was in current? Matter of fact, let me play one more joint real quick because this was getting out of hand.
In 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on over there. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards.
Thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want.
What is happening?
I'm about to tell you what's happening.
What the fuck is this?
I'm telling you, I'm about to tell you what happened right now.
What the fuck?
And if I'm wrong, you sure enough welcome to get me right. But I don't think I'm wrong on that. What you saw him try there with Zelensky, what you saw him try with Zelensky, they wanted Zelensky to kiss his ass. You didn't thank us. You're very ungrateful. Blah, blah, blah. They want him to kiss his ass. They bought him there. This was a plan.
Trump ain't done nothing.
Hold on. This was planned because he was supposed to be there to sign some mineral deal.
Oh, yes, right.
But they wanted to bring him out there, jump in his face,
and do that YouTube
do what
shit.
He did, and make him kiss Trump's ass and Vance's ass in front of the whole world. In front of the whole world. Now, what he did, what he tried with Zelensky right there, is what he did to Joe and Mika in Mar-a-Lago. He tried it with them and he succeeded. All the motherfuckers that went down to Mar-a-Lago and kissed his ass when he bought the heads of when he got in the heads of the network, y'all gonna kiss my ass, or you know what I'm saying? You ain't getting shit. We shutting shit down and all this old shit. That's what he been doing. He been making people kiss his ass, but he tried to get the president and the leader of another sovereign nation, another nation, to kiss his ass in public. That's why he went, man, you ain't thank us. Fucking you ain't thank. And like you said, he ain't did shit.
He haven't done nothing.
He ain't did shit.
What'd he do?
But that's why he keeps saying, you ain't thank the American people. Like he didn't thank Joe Biden. Bullshit. He thanked Joe Biden damn near on a daily basis.
He did.
It's like every morning he woke up, prayed to his God, then thanked Joe Biden.
But it's like, bro, do you want, well, y'all voted for this trash, the thing to be conducted like this, bro? Like, nigga, I could do this. Like, I ain't gotta be like for real, like, if you gonna make it like this, where you could just sit there and just fly off the handles like that, that's not, I don't think that's normal decor, is it?
No. So,
man, you could just do that then. If they're gonna let it go like that, like, the president of the United States is sitting here in a free fall, bruh. Like a YouTube debate. Is he fucking serious?
That's what he wanted.
With another president?
That's what he wanted. He wanted to sit there and talk and make that man kiss his ass in the Oval Office in front of the whole world. And when shit didn't go the way, that's when J.D. Vance, but that shit was playing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Hold on, let me play a little bit more. I know.
I want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that wasn't with me. That was with
a
guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins.
Huh?
You got to be more thankful. Because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. Sorry,
It'll
here.
be a tough deal to make. Because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks?
Wait,
ceasefire?
what?
If Russia breaks peace talks, what do you do then? I understand that it's a heated.
Is this how?
What are you saying?
Huh?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
Wait, what?
Okay. What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama.
All right, hold on. Wait.
What if a bomb dropped on your head right now?
Wait, what?
Now,
wait, that don't even make any sense. Wait a minute. First of all, bro, this man name, what's his name? What the fuck?
Zelensky.
He is trying to get a ceasefire with the conditions for Russia, making sure they don't go against the shit no more. That's all he asking.
That's all he wanted.
These motherfuckers are really doing some old childish shit, bro.
Because
like, what the fuck is happening here?
He kept saying that he can go talk to Putin and get this shit done in 24 hours. And that's another clip they ran all day long. Yeah, I can get this motherfucker done in 24 hours. I sit him down in the room. I tell Putin this, and I tell Zelensky that, and all this other shit. Now, he been told everybody that he got it in good with Putin and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Man, Putin, listen to me. They don't respect, they respect me, but they don't respect Obama and Biden and all this shit. Mm-hmm. So what he showed there is that all that motherfucking bullshit he talk about how he got it with Putin, he don't got it like that. Because if you wanted the motherfucking minerals bad enough or whatever, or if you down, it wouldn't be hard to get conditions just to say, look, we don't get a ceasefire here. We want to stop the fighting and stop the killing. We want to get this shit over with, that y'all can get to the table and discuss this or whatever. But we want to show us, look, man, don't violate this shit. Don't wait 30 days, 3-4 months or whatever, then run back up in there and do the shit all over again. Oh, the people want to, they want to feel secure. They want to blah, blah, blah. That's all they wanted. If you got it that good with Putin, you can go to Putin and say that. But you don't got it that good with Putin. And Putin don't give a fuck about you. Because if he did, you wouldn't have had this here today.
But the main thing about this right here is this country is just looking for motherfuckers, first of all, to acknowledge motherfuckers running in their country.
Yeah.
Biden already acknowledged that. That's over. We have a president that's here, and it's obvious. He got Russian dick in his mouth. It is literally, even if you're a MAGA right now, you can come up right now and we can discuss this. Because it's literally because Putin is convicted, not convicted, where he's a war criminal who's been, what's that called? They sent him, he a war criminal. They need to take him to trial.
Oh yeah, he going to the Hague one day.
That person right there is somebody he taking sides with. Now think about that. And he flipping from what Biden was when Biden was like, all right, they invading your country. I'm gonna give you our old ass shit. We don't need no more old ass bombs. You better do what you want with it. Just do what you can. If you gonna tell me, he gonna tell this motherfucker, y'all done. You don't have no cards. Like, bruh, Putin went in this joint almost 3.5 fucking years ago. You don't invade nobody and still don't have the control over the shit 3 years later. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Obviously, they've been fighting. And I think to now, they would not be still existing if it wasn't for Biden.
No.
So now, if you lay that backdrop to what Trump is saying right there to him, he said, we did so much for you. Which saying is, we already did so much for you. Was not him. Keep in mind, Biden did that. He using Biden, whatever Biden did, to say, we did so much for you. Like, what?
Okay.
And if you don't such and such, we ain't doing nothing else. Meaning, I never done nothing for you, right? And if you don't apply to what fuck I need, I still ain't gonna do nothing for you.
All right, then. So let's go back.
Like, what the fuck?
Let's go back to the beginning again. You already knew this. You already knew that Trump interest and what his interest and the side he was going to fall on was always going to be Russia and Vladimir Putin. You knew this. You knew this before you voted for him. But he told you otherwise. Like you could really trust what he say out his mouth. Okay, yeah, you fucked around and found out about that. But you knew where his loyalties lie. His loyalties lie with Putin, not other people with Ukraine. Because the same shit that he wants to allow Putin to do to Russia, Putin to do to Ukraine, and eventually Poland, and what China will eventually do to Taiwan, is the same thing he talking about doing to Greenland, Canada, and a couple other places. So you already know what side of the fence he fall on. So don't be surprised. This is what you voted for. This is what you got.
So again, as we go on, look, we gonna do our small part in this whole thing, this whole fight. We ain't nobody. We just walking off the fucking streets, getting into politics. We ain't no scholars. We ain't no former motherfucking college grads. None of that. We just walking around the streets, giving our opinion. And what we're gonna do is keep pointing out things that the black lady explained to you.
Right. And now,
not even just Project 2025. It's be so much more other things, including foreign policy.
Now, Rodney, you say with all due respect, we're talking about Harris, man. If you're a man, why would you want her to be president? Come on, man. Why would you want her to be president? Okay. It ain't about her being a man or a woman. It ain't about her being black or white. Those are things that come with the package. She was the better candidate in my book for where my interests lie and what in my vision of where I think this country should go and what I believe in. She was a candidate for me. It's not about voting for somebody just because they a man or a woman or they black or white. That ain't me. Now, if you chose to vote for him just because he's a man or he was white or he's a white man or whatever, and you didn't give a fuck about what she was saying, you already made up your mind on some misogynistic shit, sexist shit. So that's on you or whoever did that, and you getting what your hand called for. Because I believe right now that if she was president, you wouldn't have that idiotic scene you had in the White House today.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have that. You would not go into a store and see a dozen eggs cost $15. I was in the fucking store just 2 days ago. A dozen fucking eggs was $14.99.
Why? Why is that, Rodney?
And it wasn't that. And it wasn't that when Biden and Harris was in the White House. Okay.
But why are you not mad though? Why they not mad?
If she was in office right now, you wouldn't have thousands of federal workers losing their jobs. If she was in the White House right now, you wouldn't have Elon Musk all up with your social security information, looking at people's payroll information, shutting shit down because he wants to put the money in his pocket. If she was in the White House right now, or I ain't even gonna say she, But since you want to bring it up, if anybody else was in the White House right now, you wouldn't have planes falling out the sky on a regular basis. So it ain't about whether she's a woman or a man. It's as a candidate, as a person. She was a better candidate. If she or anybody else was in the house, White House, they wouldn't allow Elon Musk and J.D. Vance to disrespect the office of the presidency, and the president, therefore, to disrespect him in the manner that they disrespect him and make him look like a jackass. There's only one person. It's one person and one person only who holds court in the Oval Office. It is the president. And you have never, from George Washington to fucking Joe Biden, you have never, ever seen anyone other than the top dog hold court in that office. If you have, please show me. That's why. Now, if she was the better candidate, and it's told that she happens to be, she happens to be a woman and a black woman at that, hey, that's a bonus on her part. So it ain't about no soft shit or whatever the fuck y'all want to call it about voting for her. She was a better candidate. But 77 million people thought otherwise. But them same 77 million people have fucked around and are finding out. And they wish, because if she was in the White House, you wouldn't have farmers who voted for him crying about losing the benefits that Joe Biden gave them. That's going to cause them to lose their farms. If she or anybody else was in the White House, you wouldn't have seniors and disabled people out here worrying about losing their Medicare and their health insurance. If she was in the White House, you would not have a bill put up and just pass, because she wouldn't sign the motherfucker anyway, that guts $800 million or billion or whatever it is from Medicare, which is the entire budget for Medicare. So when they take it, and guess what they are going to do? They are going to give a tax break, use it to give a tax break to the rich, to the 1%, which, get me right if I'm wrong, I don't believe you are a member of. I know I'm not a member of it. So that's why we talk about her. That's who I voted for. And I told y'all the day after, y'all voted for him. More power to you. 77 million people put this man in the office. Now half of y'all wish he wasn't.
Now, if it was a motherfucking draft today and use a GM of a team, there was only two quarterbacks. It was Donald, the Orange Demon, fuck Trump, and her. It's like it's a no-brainer type shit, right? If you motherfucker, first of all, would you vote for, let's say Kamala Harris was not, let's say she was to walk around this joint with thongs on, lipstick, talking about sucking niggas' dick, all that. Scamming motherfuckers, talking shit. But she passed all the bills you like. Would you vote for her?
if that person was who the people nominated, and that person was running, and I feel that her interest, that person's interests align with mine, and I know where the other motherfucker lies at, you goddamn right.
So I was thinking about that because you can look at it from a MAGA standpoint the same way. Like, he do all that trash shit, but he passed my bills, right? Like, if Kamala was to be a complete slut out here and keep walking around with half dressed out this joint and just walk around this joint talking shit to everybody, but pass every bill for gun violence, to get guns off the street, make sure that the schools in my community is running and flourishing with high-paying teachers, all that good shit. My roads don't have no big-ass potholes that fucks my shit up. Now I got to pay for that. All that. And she was to do all that and still just be a slut. Every other month we were finding out she put some dude in the corner some fucking where and pulled his pants down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally Trump. Would you literally vote for her though? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So Trump, yeah. I would vote for her too. So to me, that part I get. It's the going along with the racism and going along with the fucking elderly abuse, the going along with the motherfucking transgender bigotry. All this bigotry shit is my problem. And then on top of that, the incompetence of sitting in the office looking like that and talking like that in front of every fucking body.
And
craziness.
Just so you know, just since that fucking shit show you saw in the Oval Office today, this is not too long happening, because I got it as a breaking news. A Russian drone just struck a crowded hospital. Listen to me. A Russian drone just struck a crowded hospital in Kharkiv, the second largest city in where? Ukraine.
Yeah, make sure you're getting it from the right.
That was from called activism. You dig what I'm saying? But
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. That this allegedly happened.
But either way, we got planes fall down. How many planes fall down in Biden administration?
None.
Like, that don't happen by accident. We got an outbreak in motherfucking Texas. Measles. Chicken pox. Mm-hmm. You got a motherfucker that took over the health joint that don't believe in vaccines.
And you got one, and they said it was, I think the last I checked, it was 2 people who died from a measles outbreak in Texas. Measles.
Yeah. Shit that you already got rid of.
Come on.
This shit's dumb. Bruh, you gotta pay attention to who run your country. There's a lot of motherfuckers that don't know the president controls a lot of shit. The government is doing a lot of shit you go to sleep at night not even thinking of. And if you take those things away, you'll have to think of it. If you stop a motherfucker for giving you heads up a year ahead of a pandemic for you to prepare for it, if you take that away, then the pandemic will just hit you. You won't know. Like the dumb fuck did last time. If you come in and just fire everybody in a motherfucking nuclear plant that's running the motherfucking nuclear bombs and shit, who the hell else know that but those motherfuckers? What are y'all doing with this, bruh? Then if you just cut the government and say, you know what? I'm just gonna cut the government. You call that cutting waste by cutting somebody's job? The payment for people working is what they call savings. Really? I done ran into so many motherfuckers from the government that lost their fucking job, bruh. Mm-hmm. Or got that fucking crazy ass letter. Or saying, man, you know what, man? I ain't have no other choice. I just gotta find something else. Everybody's life is turned upside down. It's not even 6 months.
It ain't even 6 weeks. What are you talking about? It's not even 6 weeks. We got this type of shit in less than 6 weeks.
This is sad.
Ain't no telling what the fuck he gonna do in 6 months. Look, you did not have planes crashing, falling out the sky, near misses every week till he got in there and him and Elon started fucking with the FAA and the fucking air traffic controllers. You didn't have that to them. You did not have.
On top of that,
look,
the information that Elon Musk is getting. What are you doing with all that stuff? Is he gonna make an AI of you over in Russia somewhere, or make an AI of you somewhere doing some shit with all your information or my information, and have me over there somewhere doing some AI shit that I don't know about? Like, what is happening
now? And as far as the people that he fired that oversee the nukes, I ain't even got to explain it to you. I tell you what to do. Go Google 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania. It was a nuclear meltdown in late 70s, I believe. And it's parts of 3 Mile Island is still uninhabitable to this day. And now he fired all these people that oversee that type shit, that work with that type of shit. They don't give a fuck. Come on. If we have a nuclear meltdown or anything, that shit could be catastrophic. And now he want the people, he trying to find the people. They can't even find the people that they fired. They trying to find the people so they can bring them back to work. Because they know how bad, yeah. If something happened, you have a nuke, you have a nuke get out there. Just one nuclear weapon pop up missing, or just some nuclear material. Not even got to be a weapon, just some nuclear material. Some loose nuclear material out in the public where some asshole can make a dirty bomb and set it off in a subway system or some dumb shit like that. Yeah, that's catastrophic shit. You know the fucking amount of damage that shit can do?
Exactly.
Come on.
That's why I say when
y'all think this shit cool.
10, 15 years from now, when people look back and say, what the fuck was, like they always do this on news channels too. They always say, what the fuck you was doing when all this wild ass shit was happening? What was you doing? Was you on the side of it? What was you doing?
Did you think it was cute?
Me and Number One Soul Brother, this is our contribution right here to a redneck orange fuck demon pig being the president of the United States. We only got 400 motherfucking subs to talk to. Cool. That's our contribution to the bigger broader of informing our black culture, getting them ready for the what's next, letting them know, and debating within our culture. 2, hash out what's in our culture to come out with a broader theme of what we need and what we got to take care of and what we need to fight. You know what I'm saying?
When I left here Tuesday night, after we had another knockdown drag out, it was my intention to never do this again. I wasn't coming back. And I spent all day Wednesday, half the day, most of the day, really. I was like, man, I ain't doing this shit no more, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then I got to looking at shit online. I mean, I was on YouTube. So I'll tune in to Roland Martin and Midas Touch and some other things. But then I got to looking at some other shit by black content creators. One thing I came across was Shannon and Ocho was doing I caught a clip of Nightcap with Ocho going back on Cameron about some shit. Cameron said some wild shit about Ocho. It was a bunch of mess. And that's what you get, just what you're seeing out there. So I kept on going. Then I see Corey Holcomb. He another motherfucker. He a disrespectful motherfucker when he want to be. Especially the women. Bunch of fucking mess. Then you got shit like the Breakfast Club and all that shit. It's mess. It ain't much out there that's positive or trying to kick some knowledge, kick some real knowledge that really affects your life affects your community, affects your family, and so forth. So I kept even going. So I ended up looking at a clip. Willie D was interviewing Kumo D. So I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck they drag Kumo D out from? They ain't dragged him out. Don't fucking look like a black Michelin tire man. But I was looking at a clip where he was talking about neutered voices and how, and we talked about this within the music industry and the news industry about how the motherfuckers, the higher ups, they all about that money, and they want to put out there what will make them money and to get them clicks or downloads or whatever. And he was talking about how the higher ups, they'll, if you want to put something positive out there, they're going to shut that shit down. If you want to educate the people, they're going to shut that shit down. If you want to kick some knowledge, they're going to shut that shit down. They say, oh, no, nah, that ain't what make money. That don't make no money. You got to put something out there to get it on the radio or whatever. And if you trying to teach something in your music or whatever, they ain't having it. And that's how they keep that's how they keep us in the dark. So he was talking about that and how we should, as a people, hip hop, we should own hip hop. Just like we should own R&B, we should own a lot of genres of music. But hip hop should be specifically, and I get what he's saying, because like, man, hip hop is the new, it's the revolution, it's the continuation, it's the new revolution. That's how, when they back in the 60s, they say the revolution will be televised. When it came to hip hop, and especially in the beginning, with people like Kumo D, Africa Bambaataa, the little freak, and some other motherfuckers, they was kicking knowledge. But he was like, the revolution is going to be on wax. And you had them kind of people out there until the NWA came along. And good Lord, bumped all that shit. But it's the same way with news people. They will neuter your voice. It's a lot of shit like this our shit. And this was part of our argument the other night. This right here is our shit. And we can say what the fuck we want, how the fuck we want to say it, and don't give a fuck about who don't like it and who get offended. And at the end of the night, we can sign off by telling you to kiss our ass. You don't like it? Kiss my ass. And a lot of the news that you're getting, them voices been neutered. They're not going to tell you everything. They're not going to kick what you should know, what you need to know. That's what we trying to do. We trying to let you know what you don't know. And what you don't know is a lot. It's a lot that we don't know, and we learning. And that's everybody. So look, in the end of the day, y'all gotta listen to or find people that's gonna tell you like it is, kick it to you in a way, kick it to you and be real and telling you, let you know what you don't know. Because a lot of people out here, they'll tell you, man, what the fuck Democrats have done for you? Okay. I know one motherfucker thing. When it comes to black people in the Democratic Party, black people got a seat at the table. You ain't got no seat at the table in the Republican Party, especially the MAGA Republican Party. Fuck a seat at the table. They don't want you in the house unless you cleaning it. And that's for sure.
I mean, we coming up on our 3rd year anniversary, right? And personally, I just look at debate as like sports, playing basketball, boxing, or some shit where You know what I'm saying? We just go at it, you know. But I would never ever come on this podcast and feel like I will ever disrespect my man on the left of me, bro. Like, I got big respect for him. I've been through the trenches with him. It's like other people that I only respect motherfuckers that I seen in the trenches. I seen how they react. I seen how they will put up the fight. So I would never come on this podcast and lose sight of that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get in heated debates and shit. But to me, it's just a debate. I don't really look at it like that. But I'm just gonna tell you straight, I would never disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I got big respect for you. And I want this podcast to continue just for the reason you just said. We coming from a different angle, and we just coming from a part of the streets and part of our vision, part of DC, Maryland. Just a lot of things we coming from is just different from what's in the atmosphere. And I just feel like we're a different podcast. I just think we getting heated debates here, but I just feel like all of that is healthy for the audience and healthy for anybody that just thinks about politics in the way you do or I do. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I'm glad that we doing this podcast. I'm glad we thought of this shit. I'm just glad that I would never do anything to make it where you wouldn't want to do it no more. Put it like that. So I just feel like we hitting the sweet spot on this podcast, and I feel like I like doing it. You know what I'm saying? This is my shit. You know what I'm saying? I just like, I feel I hit a groove in politics because when we first started, I never was into politics. You know what I'm saying? So I was learning as we was going, learning the people, and now I just feel like I got a grasp of it. You know, so I like to. Just like we want the what's the magas motherfuckers. We want all that. I just want the wide open discussion that helps black people in our culture, whatever the debate is, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I get passionate, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I appreciate you know, and I don't tend to come on here and, you know, be fucked up towards nobody or whatever. But I'll say this. I like doing it. I love doing it for real. It's fun. But I get the analogy you talk about, you know, it's like debating sports. But the only thing about this is, you know, if we debate LeBron James or we debate the NFL, the Bears versus the Commanders or some shit like that, you know, whatever decision a quarterback or a coach make ain't gonna kill people, ain't gonna cause people, you know, to lose lives. And so, you know, it's a little more personal. But my thing is, it ain't too many voices out there. That's why I bring up people like, you know, I brought up like Canberra or the Basin, that idiot Corey Holcomb and motherfuckers like that, and Shannon and Ocho. I mean, I can enjoy them out of them for what it is, but in this niche right here, and which is a hard niche to get into, it ain't a lot of people that look like us that's gonna come out there and tell it to you like it is. You know what I'm saying? Like when we was talking about Roland. No matter, you know, what each of us think about him, you know, I give him his props because he got a platform that's all his own, and he tell it like it is. He tell it in a way, you know, he comes straight at you, and that's how I want us to go, come straight at you. We gonna give it to you because we give a fuck about the people outside of our orbit. You know, we give a fuck about our community, our cities, our states. We can fuck about the country, you know, and that's a fucking thing that they want to put out there, that black people don't give a fuck about the country. You's a goddamn lie. We give a fuck about the country. We're as patriotic as you, as other people, but we always paint it as, y'all want to paint us as something other, you know. So I'm looking for people other people out there, you know, do what we do, make it known, because this shit is no joke, and it's not a game. You know, the people that's on like I say, the people that's on these corporate mainstream media outlets, yeah, some of them gonna get loud on certain issues, but you can best believe it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit they ain't gonna tell you. Like today, it was a boycott the major it was organized to boycott the major retailers with Jamal Bryant, Al Sharpton, Nina Turner. Whether you like these people or not, but they in the fight, and it was like, come on. And you don't hear none of this shit on mainstream media, on the mainstream outlets that everybody know. CNN didn't cover it, Now I understand that shit show at the White House, that shit was just something never seen before. But up until that shit kicked off and it was coming, you didn't even know it was coming. And a lot of people didn't know. So we got to depend on people like us, Karen Hunter, Mark Lamont Hill, Roland Martin, Reese Colbert. We need these people and us to let you know what's going on. Because look, they don't tell you this, and and this goes back to Neuter Voices. They're not going to tell you this because if you know, and we black people know, that on a yearly basis, out of our pockets, we control over $1 trillion worth of business to these corporations. Get that, $1 trillion a year, at least, to your McDonald's, Target, Walmart, Nike, Calvin Klein, all these motherfuckers. $1 trillion a year. That if you know that you control that type of money, that we control we have that type of effect on the economy, and if we withhold that money, we can affect change in a major way. Come on. Just imagine if you was a person that say, look, if you had that type of power that you can step in front of your black people and say, man, we can fuck this economy slam up. We control over $1 trillion motherfucking dollars ourselves. We shut this shit down. If we don't get this, we don't get more black people on the boards, on the board of directors, and more people in the upper management, we'll take our money elsewhere. Or if we take that $1 trillion, get this, take that $1 trillion that we spend in all of these major corporations and spend it at minority-owned businesses. Do you know how many motherfucking millionaires we would have?
Now,
come on.
It's a lot because I'm one person that don't describe to all of us, just like, because in the end, we like Michael Jordan, for example. Let's take Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
If he would just sold his shoes to black people, he would not be who he is today.
Yeah.
So as a black man owning a company, you should be down for diversity yourself too, because you need a massive amount of people to come in your business. If you hold it off to just the amount of black people coming in your business, that's it. You're leaving a lot of money on the table from the masses. You know what I'm saying? If you leaving money on the table from the masses of people to gear it towards the black culture, you're gonna lose money. So that's why it's better to be inclusive, diversity, inclusive into everything, so that you won't be separated as a black culture, and then you limit your funds. You're gonna make plenty of millionaires, but you as a culture won't be able to thrive.
Now, that's a good point. But I would counter that point this way and ask you this. What out there that black people have created, excelled at, and was making money at, that white people haven't tried to appropriate and try to make their own, or just tried to take it over and colonize it, if you will. Because remember, and a lot of y'all don't remember this, when BET started, BET was not a 24-hour cable station or cable network. BET came on at 10 o'clock at night. That's how it started. It started at 10 o'clock at night, and it stayed on a few hours, probably like 2 or something. It only had like 4, maybe 6 hours of programming that was on the air. Then as music videos and the video sold and music video connection got more popular, then it was like they was on for like a half a day, and then it was got to be a full 24-hour channel. But in the beginning, they said, you know, and ain't nobody watching no motherfucking black TV network. They ain't doing this, doing that, doing this. They can't do this. They don't got no programming. They don't got this. And the studios are right there off New York Avenue, not even a 15-minute drive from here. And what happened? It grew and grew and grew until what? Viacom pays out the ass for it. It's like when Don Cornelius had Soul Train. When Soul Train this was in the 70s, when Soul Train was fire. You was on Soul Train, you was the shit. You was a Soul Train dancer, they was loving you. And American Bandstand was out, but American Bandstand had the but Soul Train had the black audience. What did Dick Clark do? He tried to make a Soul Train ripoff. So I say that to say, if you do it and you create it and it make money, eventually white people gonna come.
Yeah, but when they buy it out, that's the masses now. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Then you done sold it to them. They gonna be the billionaire off to your product.
Yeah, but
because they sell them to the masses.
But this is the issue with that. I have with that. When they buy shit out and they call themselves making it for the masses, what do? They water it down, they neuter it, and it ain't the same no more. Like
it's just a name.
Remember, one time BET had a nightly news, Ed Gordon, and him, like people like us and other people we talk about, he was covering subjects and going to places the mainstream wasn't going. But you best believe when Viacom took over, that shit wasn't happening. So they water a lot of shit down, and it ain't the same. It ain't the same as when it was black owned and black run. And they take a lot of shit and where it could do more good, I can say. Because if you got a motherfucking because man, you tell me if you agree with that, this or not. Don't you think that every fucking February, Black History Month, you would think BET, TV One, Griot, I'm gonna take the top two. BET or TV One, do you think that for a week, every year, that one of those networks should run Roots?
Hell yeah. One of them, all of them. But Roots is a long joint. That is a long joint.
Okay, 2 hours a night. It's a miniseries.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
gonna be a week thing.
5 nights. Take a week. Okay.
That costs.
When you did the New Edition story, was 3 or 4 nights, 2 hours a night. So why, if you could do that?
Now BET for sure, but some of these smaller joints, I don't know.
I said the small. I mean,
I
think tough. The smaller joints should too. But for this conversation, I'm going to say that the big boys, BET.
Hell yeah,
BET is the OG and the big
boys. Be hesitating.
You would think that they would run during Black History Month.
Hell
you would see, instead of commercials about blah blah blah, this person, they would run Roots, they would run King,
the History Channel too.
X. You get that now? History Channel.
They might do it.
They got a lot of. There's a lot of Black History stuff on History Channel. There's a lot of all the stuff on.
I don't know if they put Roots on it though. Yeah. They might do though.
Roots is on. I'm watching Roots. Is it on? It's on Netflix or?
I'm gonna start watching that joint.
I think it's on Amazon. I was watching on Amazon.
When I first watched it, I was young. I'm watching it again with my son Monday. I'm gonna start off the first chapter with him. He never saw it before, so I'm trying to find the old one though. Yeah, I don't like the new joint, but Mondays is the days I set aside. I told this nigga, but I know he ain't gonna go by my rules. Yeah. But I told him Mondays is my day. So what I'm gonna do on this Monday, we're gonna sit down and start off Roots and shit. Yeah. Hopefully. But where I find the original?
It's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon Prime. I think I'll let you know because I was just watching.
I want to see the original joint.
The first one, the original.
I don't like the play around shit.
I don't like that second shit.
I don't like none of that shit.
Never will. But
that shit
I just say to say this. It's just like in TV, it's just like in music, and just like in anything else, and just like if we had say if it was somebody to start a Black Walmart, it's different. You know what I'm saying? When it's owned by us, run by us, and the stories are told by us, and we make sure that the shit get out there.
But see, the difference between them, like Walmart, for example, nobody really look at that as somebody's actual name. So if it was a motherfucker Black person was to start the same type of thing and call it Thomas, you know what I'm saying? The average person won't even recognize that's a name for a Black person or white person. It's just that's the name of the store. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After a while, Walmart is just a name of a store. Yeah. Nobody really knows that's somebody's actual name.
Yeah, we know who
the rich ass piece of pigs that own the joint.
You know who the Waltons are, Sam.
You
Walton.
know,
but it's just like when I brought up the shit Kumo D was saying. It's like he's talking. Well, the corporate people they ain't gonna allow you to do certain things, or they won't give you the funding to do certain things or say certain things. They cut the money off, and once the money cut off, what you gonna do? And a lot of people ain't about the money. Yeah, that's what that motherfucking. When I was looking at the shit between Ocho going back on Cameron about the shit Cameron said about Ocho, and then motherfucking and this is, I guess this would be a kind of example when Shannon jumped in talking about, man, Ocho, man, why you getting in all that? You going back and forth. I ain't gonna let them fuck my money up, bruh. It ain't all about the money. Sometimes you worrying about your money, and you don't want to say certain things. I don't say certain things on my show, on my show, because I don't want to lose the money. They ain't fucking my money up. Bruh. If you have full control, you can say what the fuck you want to say. That's telling me you ain't got full control of your shit.
No, they never really do, because at some point, even people on YouTube, at some point, they have to start not cussing, I don't never ever want to get to that point where they gotta start doing shit, not how they got there, not how they started, but how they gonna start doing it to get the sponsors and all that shit, man. That's just never gonna happen.
That's when that comes in, though.
I'm not bending around for all that shit.
When you start getting sponsors and stuff like that,
people start getting changing.
You want to get that sponsor and get that sponsorship money, get them advertising money, whatever. Yeah, they gonna tell you, it's certain things that you can do and you can't do to get this dough. And if well, you can't use certain language, you can't talk about this and you can't talk about that. Yeah, so you're a slave. You
start turning into that a corporate piece of shit.
Yeah,
basically, because you're not being like we are now. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna be a day a sponsor be like, all right, give us money and be like, nah, don't say this no more. Don't do this. Don't that. Like, bruh, why you pay us? From what you heard from us from the beginning, you paid us. That's what's gonna continue. It's not gonna be all of a sudden, hey, this constitution is not like that. I don't give a fuck about them, bruh. This is who we the fuck are. Fuck that.
Black people don't like going to black people's stores because they don't be ran right. And I don't even know what you're talking about right there.
That's all. But we do appreciate everybody that tuned in. But before we get out of it, though, I want to touch on the motherfucking the fact that me and my man worked in the motherfucking Smithfield Packing. That's the trenches I'm talking about. Like, it's not a whole lot of trenches with me. I like to see people in trenches that's selling dope or working in the warehouse. That's two things I did in my life. So that's what I draw off, right? So I seen that firsthand with him, right? But can you, bruh, at this point, man, it's almost make you speechless fucking with these clowns, bro. To be honest with you. It's always make you speechless. But I do want to touch on the fact that you had a motherfucker in Smithfield Packing, right? Man, I worked there for 12 and a half. I don't know how long you were there. Same amount, matter of fact, because you was there 6 months before me.
13.
So yeah. So 12 and a half. Yeah, exactly. And we worked in smokehouses. We cook hams, right? So I never heard of you. Or I don't know if you heard of this, but a nigga working in the smokehouse packing.
Oh yeah, he got locked in the.
Was locked in the fucking smokehouse and turned on. Like you first, bro.
Somebody was trying to kill him.
Like, thank you. Like, bro, no. It don't happen like this. Like,
it don't happen like
you
that,
can't just
bro.
be in there and I turn it on.
No,
like, what the fuck?
No. Especially if you got the ones we had. Them jokes were automated.
Like, bro, that don't even make sense.
Even them joints, even before they fucking switched over to and put the new control panels on there. You had to go, half the motherfuckers, you had to go turn them on way down.
We had niggas that used to fall asleep in houses. We ain't turn them bitch. Like, bro.
You know,
like, what are we doing? Bro, you know when that heat hit your ass, the steam come out of that I know they was fucked. I know they was fucked. Like, first of all, how you load it up, lock it up. First of all, is somebody in there, bro? Now, I know people might not understand this, but this is like, all right, for example, this is called a smokehouse they in, right? Where it's big houses. Picture your oven being motherfucker 20 feet, 15 feet tall and 10 feet wide, your oven, right? And then all they do is put racks and racks of 4,000 pounds. Me and my man just push those joints. 4,000 pounds of motherfucking racks and racks of hams inside the joint, right? And you put them in racks, you put them in that joint, they tall. It is no way possible that a person actually can be still in there. I did this, matter of fact. I cooked the hams. I turned the oven off and on. And I tested the motherfucking temperatures. I know for a fact, lock the doors up. I'm responsible for that. There's no way the fuck that a person actually can be inside of it. You come out of it, lock it up, go all the way to the control room, turn that bitch on without knowing somebody missing, somebody in there. What he was doing, sleep?
Look,
it really don't make sense to me, bro. It doesn't make sense to me, bro. And to pay these motherfuckers $10,000 fucking dollars. I'm gonna tell you from a nigga from experience that worked for Smithfield Packing.
Yeah, somebody tried to kill him.
That's the shit they do. We seen a nigga get their arm cut the fuck off, and the best they can give him is a job for fucking life, and then fire him 2 months later. See, that's Smithfield for your ass. So $10,000 for that is not even surprising, bro. And that was just a penalty. That wasn't nothing they wanted to pay. Well, this is one of the biggest ham companies. And me and my man worked for this joint for decades. It is the biggest month, and we can tell you inside out how that thing works. And it's the biggest ham joint in the world. One or two. And you have the nerve, is in Dakota, matter of fact, South Dakota. South Dakota got hams out there?
Yeah.
Damn, I could have moved outside Dakota. I'm glad I didn't know that. We probably would end up out that bitch. It probably been sweet out of the joint. Only black motherfucker out there joint too.
I'm about to.
They will fire my ass 2 weeks later.
Before we go though, I'm gonna say this, Rodney. If you want to look up black people who ran corporations and ran businesses, and you don't think it shit ain't ran right. Do your motherfucking research on the Johnson family that own Johnson Publication. You can do your research on Bob Johnson. You can do your research on Sheila Johnson. Matter of fact, you can do your research on Oprah if you want to. You can and do a motherfucker and since Black History Month, do the end of it today.
Black History, baby. Come on, man.
You can do Berry Gordy. These people are black people who excel, and then they did it at a time when, hey, especially Berry.
Bro, that'd be dumb responses from black people defending white supremacy.
I don't know what
bro. Ronnie, bro. We know we can't sit here with a straight face and say it's not no black owned business that's piece of shit. Don't know how to run their fucking business. Yeah. The same as there's a bunch of white motherfucking businesses don't know what the fuck they doing this piece of shit. Koreans, the whole thing, bro. So that's just dumb to fucking say.
All we saying
this is stupid.
If black people know the power and realize the power we have in our wallets with the money that we spend and the shit
we can move shit,
and we spent that shit on black businesses, which in a black business could include you too.
Not no more though.
Nah,
because you back that racist pig on demon fuck.
You too. What we could do out here to affect change and get more of our people out here, and it's not about DEI. It's all that's some bullshit.
Well, you know, not that's now a slur word like nigga was.
Yeah,
but you're a part of it. Think about that.
It's just
think about that.
It's all right. It's all right for us to wear all of this shit and believe me, especially when it comes to fashion. If black people ain't wearing it, it ain't hot. I don't give a fuck what it is. So you can tell me that we can be the cause of what's hot in fashion, in music, in television, and all of this, that, and the third. And you can tell me we can dictate what's hot, but we can't motherfucking run it, design it, and build it up.
We gotta stop thinking so small. We gotta stop thinking small because you gotta realize
bullshit.
Being the rapper is the small part of it. Being running back is the small part of it.
Right.
Being the point guard is the small part.
That's the grunt work.
So exactly, we're ascribing to be the grunt work of millionaires. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that it's ran by the billionaire white motherfuckers. Yeah. Regardless, even when we get there, we still niggas. How about that?
And what you need to realize is that black culture and black influence affect everything, from music to sports, television, all that shit. And if you want to get into it, look up Dr. Charles Drew. It wasn't a black man. It wasn't black man. I mean, it wasn't a white man that did what he did with blood plasma and blood transfusions and all that shit. It was a black man. That peanut butter and all that good shit and all the things that George Washington Carver invented. That was a black man. That motherfucker, every time you drive down the street and you get caught at a red light, because it was a black man that invented that. If you want to know who designed Washington, D.C., and find out why it's designed in a certain way, why certain streets run a certain way, you got certain and it's a certain way that they're numbered with alphabets, numbers, and states. It's all a strategic reason behind it. If the city was ever attacked, a black man did that. So it's all DEI. That's some bullshit. They'll never motherfucking take credit. They'll never hesitate to take credit, but they don't want to give credit. Elvis is the king of rock and roll. Little Richard invented that shit. You know what I'm saying? Country music, they want to tell you that's a white thing. No, it isn't. It came from black people.
They both got on that bitch though.
Like a motherfucker. Come on, bruh. You know why they wanted to keep us out of basketball, baseball, basketball, football, and all that motherfucking shit? Because what happened when we got in? You find out that you can't fuck with us as athletes. When it comes, and as I said again, when it comes to fashion, and as Elder Barge once said, you wear it well, we wear it well. You know what I'm saying?
That's for goddamn shower sauce.
Y'all might love Barbra Streisand. Y'all might love Celine Dion. Ain't that I'm fucking with Aretha or Whitney or Gladys or Shaka or whoever else. Come on. Tom Jones made a career. His whole career was made off of black music, singing black music, and so was Elvis, and so was Jerry Lee Lewis. Out of music black people wrote. You tell me, and you can run down any fucking record company you want, and the greatest, the most influential music catalog that ever was and will ever be is Motown Records. They gave you Diana Ross Supremes, Temptations. They gave you Rick James. They gave you Marvin Gaye. They gave you Gladys Knight. They gave you Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. All of these big motherfuckers gave you Smokey Robinson, one of the greatest songwriters there ever was. And we ain't gonna talk about, even though he wasn't at Motown, we ain't gonna talk about Quincy Jones. Come on. We'll talk about TV. The greatest sitcom, in my opinion, there ever was and ever will be, is Sanford and Son. The only reason All in the Family was number one, because you had a white bigot and bigots loved him. But right there kicking their ass was Red Fox and Sanford and Son. Come on. Everything that we do, white people appropriate. If it wasn't for a Jackson 5, you would not have Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and all these other motherfuckers. The greatest musician who ever did it, Prince. Y'all talk about it is always some DEI shit. Because if we ever smarten up and use the power that we got in our pocket, along with the power that we got in our mind, and we do the shit without selling out, without it always being build it up and sell it out to the white man. White man don't do no motherfucking work. The work always done by somebody else. Then they'll come along and throw some money at you without a motherfucker thinking, if a motherfucker gonna give me $200 million for this, how much money is he gonna make? Because he ain't gonna spend no $200 million just to make $300 million. Just like musicians now, all the rappers want to sell their catalogs. Fuck you sell your catalog for? Dude, that's generational money. If you got a catalog that's different, that's decent, I think Jeezy sold his or somebody like that. Nelly sold his. That's a hell of a catalog. You know, fuck Nelly. Think about it. What pissed white people off about Michael Jackson so fucking much that made them want to come after him? That made them come after him. One of the reasons they came after him the way he did was when he bought the Beatles music, along with about 150 other artists. We talked about it the other night. What pissed them off about Bill Cosby wanting to buy NBC? He could have had any other part of NBC he wanted, especially NBC Entertainment, because Bill Cosby was he was gold. He was money when it come to being on TV and TV shows. He didn't want the motherfucker to have NBC News. You're not having a news organization. Come on, man. Y'all gotta wise the fuck up.
Like we do appreciate everybody to take your time out.
Everybody
to motherfucking even look at us for 10 seconds. Like we appreciate y'all a whole lot, bro. We just starting to grind on this shit. We starting to get a feel for YouTube. So just bear with us on this shit right here. We're not YouTubers. So we gonna try to translate podcasts and mix this thing up so so we can get more viewers and more people to reach out to us and more people we can talk to and dialogue with. MAGAs, white motherfucking women that voted for Donald Trump bitch ass, or the Hispanics, whoever out there joint. We want to talk to everybody, had that discussion, that black discussion, that black debate. You know what I'm saying, dog? Appreciate everybody taking your time out. Catch us. We got so much more to get into. As usual, we got the orange fuck demon pig fuck running shit. So it's going to be a lot of fucking news.
And the quote James Brown, who ended up owning the radio station he used to shine shoes out of. But black people don't know what the fuck they doing. To quote James Brown, I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want my proper share. You dig what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Open up the door. I get it my motherfucking self. You feel me?
You know?
And that's all we saying. And it ain't about DEI and what you say DEI is mainly for white women. No, it wasn't. Do your research, bro. If DEI was mainly for white women, why are they always throwing it up in a black person's face? Why, when a fucking bridge fell, when a boat, big ass ship crashed into a bridge in Baltimore, and the bridge collapsed, why did they blame it on the DEI mayor? I don't figure how the fuck, mayor DEI. Okay, but if it didn't pertain to black people, why was a motherfucking plane crash here in DC? It was DEI that caused that, and find out it wasn't but 2 black people on the plane. I think one was a passenger and one was a flight attendant. Come on. Y'all keep listening to these motherfuckers. That's the problem I'm trying to tell y'all now. Them motherfuckers tell y'all shit. Now we'll get into it on the next pod. You know what? We're gonna talk about that on the
next. It's a lot too.
I'm gonna talk about on the next pod.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah, I got something
especially with the KKK
on the next joint.
But yeah. Appreciate y'all. All the hoodies. We appreciate y'all. We're black and proud. Never too late for that black debate.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. We the hood view, you know? Representation of black people, I ain't on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas is representing.